There we go. And recording today.
Yay,
Um,
recording.
yeah. So we're on episode 2 now. How'd y'all think about the about last week? Or not last week, but last session that we did.
It's good. It was good. Always room for improvement, and we're gonna try to do it.
Yeah. What about you, Cal?
Um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. More or less, do a couple of them and then watch how we improve along the lines.
Yeah.
Is my way of looking at it.
Oh yeah.
Um, I know I had posted. So what we're going to talk about today. About SI. So a lot of y'all that might not know that R6 had SI had a winner, TSM FTX, or just TSM for what everybody recognized them for. They are the winners of 2022
Let's go.
SI for year 6. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not expect that to happen. Um, when I was seeing them play, it was like they were just there because they was in the upper bracket a lot, and I did not pay attention to them. I was thinking like, is it Dark Zero? And then Dark Zero came out, and then TSM was still on top. And I did heard that they they barely got into SI, and that's a lot. And all the Bolo fans, I bet they're like creaming in their pants right now because of Bolo. Bolo won.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think a lot of people had TSM losing to Team Liquid in the upper bracket semifinals. So I think that was where they had him going down, and then they were probably had him losing to MIBR or FaZe after that. But a lot of people really thought like if anyone was gonna go far, it was gonna be Damwon or possibly FaZe again, try to repeat. But Damwon got taken out pretty early, surprisingly, because a lot of people did hype them up. But
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected TSM to get as far as they did, never mind even win the whole damn thing, because this entire past year TSM has just not been performing very well. Um, I mean, they even had to qualify for SI, but they stuck with it. They grinded through it. They obviously changed a bunch of things around. They were obviously studying their other teams that they were playing. Technically, they're enemies, I guess.
yeah, true.
Um, so they put in the work, and it definitely showed. And they looked, when they were playing against Empire, they definitely looked like they were a more structured team to me, as opposed to, I don't know, I guess not being structured. They looked like they had their stuff together. They were playing pretty tight. They were playing for refrags. They were sticking together. There was a lot of droning. It's obvious that there was a lot of communication. So
There
they
was
reacted
signs
well.
of approval, not just the same team again and again. I'd say.
Yes.
Uh, but it's very interesting when I look at the bracket from the overall thing. You see a lot more of NA than I guess Latin America, which is very interesting because the past couple of seasons it's been Latin America, Latin America, Latin America.
Yeah.
And so for NA to actually really have 4 people in the quarterfinals is insane.
Mhm. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty wild, especially considering how early NIP got eliminated. I mean, they didn't get eliminated that early, but for them to be the 2021 SI champions to not get at least into the semis,
Because
it was a little surprising.
They got eliminated first round.
by TSM.
No, by MIBR. Oh
No,
wait, TSM
they
and
fought. I got
MIBR.
I
Oh
got the bracket right here. I just posted in chat.
yeah,
They went against TSM. They was like, "Yeah, we about to win this, and we taking your spot. So y'all ain't going nowhere." They
they
had to take the
lost both
big dog out. They had to take the big dog out, and then,
because they were all
and then
they were also in the lower bracket as well. And they lost to
Yeah,
MIBR again.
yeah, they lost to MIBR,
Oh,
and
jeez. They had 2 chances for that one.
yeah, Ninja Pajamas didn't go anywhere this year. They got 0-2 both games. Not even
Yep.
put a chance to fight. SSG they're making it, but they can't get anywhere close anymore. Considering what
Yeah.
happened, but Team Empire, this is like what their third time coming to SI, being at the finals and then just losing it. The third time or the
I mean,
second?
they weren't even really
Let me see.
competitive for the most part. Like, yeah, they were winning rounds, but the rounds they were winning were not by like landslides. It was about by like 1 or 2 kills, and TSM just not reading where they were, which was just, I think it was very sloppy, and it probably should have been a lot further apart than it was. But just my 2 cents on that one.
Sorry, I got distracted reading something. Um, Honestly, everything that happened in SI was a pretty big upset, I would like to say. There was teams like Damwon Kia, people thought it was going to go far, they didn't really go that far. MIBR actually ended up going pretty far. Liquid got 2-0'd and knocked out. That one surprised me. Um, FaZe got 2-0'd and knocked out by TSM. Like that one really surprised me. Whenever I see FaZe get beat like that, I always remember that FaZe is one of the earlier esports orgs. I
Yeah.
mean, you could go as far to call them almost esports royalties for how long they've been around. And it's always surprising when they get slammed. It's like, well, shit, what happened? And TSM beat them pretty quickly. I think the first match was even like 7-2, and then the next match was pretty bad as well.
Yeah. And along those lines, Elevate also beat Rogue first round, surprisingly enough,
Wait,
after losing to Sonics.
yeah, Elevate did get them 2-1. Rogue did at least put a fighting chance, but
Yeah.
they couldn't take it, and what Dark Zero made it to what the lower bracket. They was grinding their way in the lower bracket because they started in the lower bracket
Yeah.
and they just couldn't get anywhere because they lost against FaZe, and I was really hoping that Dark Zero was gonna beat FaZe, but again,
Yeah.
man, they just took them straight to Brazil, and but
Yeah.
overall, but like, and then Sonics versus Team Empire. Honestly, I wasn't expecting a lot with the Sonics. I don't hear much about the Sonics,
I
but
mean,
I still was
yeah.
kind of hoping for an A team to at least beat them. But the what Team Empire is in Russia, right?
Yeah, they're a Russian team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm I'm glad I saw Empire get as far as they did because I mean I would have to look up the stats, but they don't normally get that far. Like they're a team that can hold on, but I don't see them winning a whole lot. I mean, let me look up the stats. Let me see if I was wrong.
Yeah.
But
Check 'em too.
and in terms of Sonics, they have definitely improved as well. They were almost like a meme. Like
Yeah.
Uh,
I hate talking crap about teams, but it's like they just didn't win. It
Mm-hmm.
was like Sonics, Cloud9, Dark Zero. Those are teams that just don't win. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
even think Cloud9 is around anymore. I remember sometime last year. It was last year or the year before, something like that. It's when Hot and Cold was still on Dark Zero, and they won a major, and it was their first like major win.
yeah.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like they've been around for all this time, and that's the first time that they've like won a major. They were good
Yeah.
enough to stay off from relegation, but they couldn't win. They were a middling team, so as it were. But Sonics is another one of those that is slowly coming up. They're starting to win more. They're getting a lot better. They're getting a lot more structured.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Teams are starting to take them more seriously because they're starting to come a lot more prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, followed up on that Team Empire. They've been second or first for pretty much the last 2 years, except for an SI. SI has been where they've performed the worst. They've gone 7 and 8 on 2021, and in 2020 they were 9 to 10, 12.
Didn't
So they were pretty poor performances everywhere out of SI. Well,
so
everywhere in SI. Out of SI, they were second or first everywhere.
yeah, because up in what it was the what G2 versus Team Empire, that whole one with Pengu with the unlimited overtime, that was Empire that went against them, right?
Uh, I believe so. Yeah, they in the Raleigh Major they won 3-1 over G2, and they lost to G2 in the Six Invitational Finals
Yeah,
3-0.
yeah. That was the unlimited overtime back in what
2019.
2019. Okay, yeah. Also, side note, DWG KIA, that guy, one of the players, he tied for most kills in an SI. Oh my
Yeah, they
gosh.
they really dropped some kills. A lot of people were hyping them up. I'm just surprised that they lost the way they did to Oxygen and Sonics, both NA teams,
Yeah.
which was really surprising.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, no,
Um,
that was one of the most surprising parts I'd say about that.
yeah.
That and Furia losing the Dark Zero 2-0.
Yeah. Honestly, I expected a lot more out of Dark Zero because they do have Canadian.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make the argument that he's washed up and this and that and all that stuff, but I mean, he's an extremely intelligent R6 player. I mean, he was on SSG and helped lead them to an SI win. And the year before that, was it? Was
I
it?
think their team's too young though,
Uh,
personally.
He got two wins.
Um,
He got two hammers.
I mean, they've already won SI once, and it was either the year before or the year after they came up in second. I
Yeah.
think no, that was NIP. NIP was second one year and then won SI the next year. I was getting
Yeah.
confused, but still, SSG has an SI win. So I mean, even if they are young, they've proven that the people that they're getting are able to go the whole way, as opposed to other teams that have been around for a while but haven't been able to do much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Um, but so Canadian. Let me get this right. He has two hammers, or he only been up to the majors to the SI twice.
I think he's won one.
He's won
I think it
one,
was the first. I think it was the first one, if I believe correctly.
or was he?
Uh,
I'm looking it up. Canadian. He is in-game leader for Dark Zero. Um, man, wiki page is so cluttered. Hey, R6 wiki, get this good shit organized.
uh, he
Yeah,
won the
'cause-
invitationals in 2020 on SSG
okay.
against NIP,
No,
and
he
he also
won
won back in
2017.
2017 as well. He won
Yeah.
both
Okay,
2017 and 2020.
okay. So he was like the first one to get the hammer.
Yep,
And
along
then
with King George, if I remember correctly.
okay. I
Yeah,
know who King
Yeah, he was
George
on
is.
EG way back in the day.
And EG what disbanded, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
when R6 made the change from ESL to Face It, and they made the rule like everyone needs to reside in Vegas, that's when EG disbanded. Um, there was
Continuum.
there was a couple of teams. One team, I forget, it started with a P, I think, but one team disbanded and then immediately reformed into what is now Oxygen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And didn't some teams this year got disbanded as well?
I wouldn't be surprised if XSET got
I
disbanded.
thought I had tweeted that. Guess not, but if we're able to find that, we can just let that in the comments. But overall,
Yeah,
like six invitational, man, that was one hell of a show. But I want to get into some meat. Um,
go for it.
the Year 7.
Oh, jeez.
The yeah.
I'm not looking forward to this, bro.
Why is that?
I'm not a fan of operator repick. I'm not a fan of. Well, I am surprised by the ban rates for this past season, but overall, I'm just not a fan of what they're doing in the future of this game. I like the scope change, but I think attacker repick is just going to flip the 2-4 attacker preferred win loss to 4-2, and it's just going to make defense extremely hard.
Considering I got the patch notes for year 7, and judging by the operated ban pick attack, there is a 15% chance of nobody banning on attack. And that's untied with Monty.
I see that, and then on defense, it's 14, which is 1% lower than Clash.
Like, why
I
are these
don't I don't
people?
know what people are doing.
They are really just throwing, like, we're just gonna use the operator. We're not gonna ban them. We're just gonna try
Yeah,
to 3-0 them. But Thatcher and Jackal still the same presence as well. That's why
I'm
that's
s-
why I pretty much um
yeah.
focused on that one.
I'm surprised by the defense though. Seeing Cade lower than Valkyrie and Mir, that's really surprising for me, I guess.
Yeah, to be honest, this season I was a Cade man.
Yeah, been
Like
seeing a
when
lot
I
more Cade this season.
yeah, Clubhouse Cade. If you don't ban if you don't ban Cade, then more than likely they don't know what they're going to do, because they're going to try to go with the Maverick. And the way I have my Cade spots, they Maverick is not going to get that. And that's basically it. That's a free wall. Um, but a lot of people are starting to learn to Mavic trick, and I'm really impressed with that, because I draw drunk lines with the Maverick torches, but they go crooked. Like one
True.
side is higher than the other. Um, yeah, Cal, I know you didn't play much rank this season, but you did get quite a few in there. How'd you think about the ban list?
The ban list for what? Sorry, I'm just really distracted right now.
Ban list for the season 7-1.
Or the patch notes? I posted in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it. The thing that I'm most interested on, because like it's funny you mentioned Clubhouse. So, one of the Cade spots in Clubhouse for, CCTV near a drone hole. It's like the best place to put it. So having a zombie there, putting one of her things to block the drone hole, well, you're gonna have to use utility to get rid of that, and then you got to use more utility to get rid of the Cade. So it's gonna be very interesting. And the more I think about it, the more I realize if it's played smartly, and if you want to fully dedicated some of her utility to it, I mean, you can make chalet basement viable, you can make consulate basement even more viable than it is. um you have a real possibility of actually hanging on to the breach for Clubhouse if they don't bring a Maverick. And let's be honest, you should be bringing your Maverick on Clubhouse anyways.
Yeah.
He's just way too strong. So it's definitely interesting, since I didn't like during the reveal how they kept talking about how she's an architect and reshapes the map. Like they said it like 50 billion times, and it was starting to get annoying. But it is kind of true, because it adds that uncertainty to things. It adds that a little bit of RNG, as it were, to the game, because getting attacker repick, having the 6 pick phase, having the reveal phase, like it takes away a lot of the guesswork. It takes away a lot of surprises. So like even if there's an Azami, like you don't know what's going to happen with it. And this, I think, is going to be one of the most interesting seasons in a long time, specifically because of people like Bikini Body. Because who knows what the hell he's gonna find with stuff like that. And other he's just the first one popping in my mind. Other YouTube creators that go and just spend hours in customs figuring out really weird stuff.
Yeah.
Um, like imagine jumping on something that you probably shouldn't be able to jump on, but you can get up there, and then using a zombie to cover yourself, and you just have, a default plant completely locked down. Like the thing I think of is Oregon when you're in a kid's dorm, and you can jump on one of those bookshelves to essentially look towards attic, and it's a really hard thing to counter. Well, if you want to cover freaking big windows so you don't have to worry about a side, or cover white stairs, or just cover it so people can't shoot you from attic, so you can cover a default plant for big window. Like there's a bunch of really weird but cool stuff that you could do just spending 5 minutes thinking about it.
Um,
Plus she gets a shotgun.
yeah, she gets the most cancerous shotgun as well. The AC AA-12. Like, come on. Like the she gets the Kapkan, the Russian gun with the that buck, that slug automatic. Like can we? That's but I do get what you're saying with the architect thing and everything as well, and that really helps clear my mind when they rework Goyo to the point to you can redo Goyo shields. Just use a Zumi or Zami with the put a Goyo right behind it, and if they try to shoot it, it's a Goyo shield again.
Yeah, can we talk about that shit for a second? 20 seconds
They're
that
gonna
shit
nerf it.
burns.
They're gonna nerf it.
I
I don't know.
mm-mm.
If he gets used a lot, 100% I see it being nerfed. But if he's not picked a lot, they're not going to nerf it because they don't seem to nerf operators that aren't picked often. Because like take for example, or more specifically weapons. Take for example the AK-12. The AK-12 was slept on
Yeah.
because he only Fuse had it, so nobody really used Fuse because Fuse is more or less a pocket pick. And so when Ace came around and it became almost a not a necessary every round, but a critical pick. Everybody's using the AK-12, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, the AK-12 is awesome!" And then it got nerfed. I honestly see the ACS 12 getting nerfed here in the near future because everybody's going to be using a zombie because it's the new hotness, and then they're going to be using the shotgun, and people are going to be like, "Oh my god, the shotgun's awesome!" Because the shotgun actually is pretty fucking good. So as a result, they're going to realize, "Oh hey, Alibi has it," and a while back they buffed it so that people would use it more, so it has the better optics. So people are going to start using it on Maestro and Alibi and realizing how good it is. It's going to get nerfed because it's going to be overused. And like that's fine. Something is overused and needs to be nerfed so it's in line with everything else, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting because if Goyo isn't used a lot, then they're probably going to leave him as he is. I can very easily see like a 5 second nerf to his shits. Um, but if they don't really touch him, then 100% he's going to be like a really big pocket pick. I see him for especially Pro League. You're doing something, you need this, and you realize, oh hey, we have the Goyo here. Like I could see the Goyo being very very useful with his rework in bank basement, because you can put it in certain areas where the attackers can't really shoot it, but the person that's holding the hallway looking at default can, and they can shoot it pretty easily.
Mhm.
So I definitely see him being used in situations like that.
I mean, the more I think about it personally, I foresee it as being like possibly if it catches on fire when it's exploded, something like maybe putting it on default for bank and just bottom floor bank and just whenever that hard breach, if you can delay enough time, breaks it, it'll blow up. That could
Yeah.
be a very good solution for that. Also, maybe seeing a combo with a C4, just putting it somewhere where it's very unlikely to get, and then just when people come close to it, just C4ing it and it blowing up. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that you actually have to peek it to shoot it. So that might actually be
Yeah.
reason for it not to get nerfed is that there's a certain level of risk when you're actually activating them. It's not like auto activated like most of the other traps in this game,
But
or
also
smokes for that matter, or
you can
chemicals.
also put it like near the hatch as well. If you know they're about to break the hatch, just shoot it down and you're wasting 20 seconds. As well as even blue. When Red Team Practice was watching that Ella and Blue, they basically a lot of EMP'd them and stuff like that with the G2 Navi game back in
Yeah,
Crystal Guard. Yeah, they you can put one on that wall right next to that shield. They wouldn't even know unless they actually pre-droned it, which they probably did. But they would have to
yeah.
clear that as well. And Ella can just shoot it as well, to where you're wasting 20 seconds and you have good time for you to run away, to save your life. So um, I I'm trying to leave positive views for this Goyer shield because they took a shield, but they also gave him another canister. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a double edged sword. Good and bad right there. Um, now
Personally, I don't
what's
think any of the other reworks are really that impactful, to be honest with you. Like the Malusi, Valkyrie Zero, and Thunderbirds are really like more like quality of life changes than actual like, I guess, balancing. And Callie's, I don't think is going to do anything. Being completely honest with you,
they
I think
just
she's still going to be terrible.
yeah, it's not gonna really do anything for Callie, but the Kona stations is she doesn't get more than 100 health. But the thing is, Doc can do the same thing. So why did they do that? I don't understand that.
I think it's
If
so that when people are just sitting on an angle, they don't accidentally activate it while they're sitting on that angle, because then it would just give away their position and they get some useless overshield. So
yeah.
instead, they can just sit on it without it activating. Then if they get shot, they can instantly heal.
Oh, I just remembered too. Completely off, well, not off topic, completely different from what you guys were saying. So during the year 7 reveal, they showed that they're going to have videos to show people how like gadgets work, how operator
Oh,
stuff works, all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? Here's the thing. So this is we are almost in year 7, season 1. The game has been out for 7 fucking years, right?
yeah,
I don't know if anybody remembers, but when the game first launched, the first thing it tells you to do, and it gives you a renown for doing it, is you watch some videos. And it
3
shows you how to
videos.
yeah, it shows you how to reinforce, how to barricade, all that shit. So that idea that they're bringing into year 7 was already there when the game launched in December of 2015. Why did it take 7 years to continue that idea?
I mean, I can understand why, to be honest with you, because recently they've over the last 2 seasons been trying to make this more entry friendly to new players. Like they did the recent change where you can change the colors around to red and blue for the enemy and defender teams, which I personally I'm a masochist and I like my team being red and the enemy's blue. But hey, to each their own. But I see this as more of a okay, we've let the community do this for a long time, but I think we should start taking initiative and start making this user friendly so everybody can do it inside their own game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the new team that took over from the previous dev team, I think they actually do understand their player base because they realize, okay, this isn't here. We need to do it. And they probably someone was probably playing the game and said, "Hey, these videos are really cool. Why don't we do some more of them?" Because imagine how how much further would people would go if there was a video explaining this is the proper way to use thermite. This is the proper way to use ace. This is the proper way to use sledge. Don't forget, you can get vertical. The ground is destructible. Like it
Yeah.
imagine how many people probably stop playing the game, playing a newcomer, besides the fact that there's, a shit ton of smurfs in there,
Mhm.
because they just couldn't figure out the fucking game.
I mean,
And they didn't have anybody to tell them what to do.
They
Yeah.
might have also watched them and been like, "Oh, hey, these are way too old. We need to step our shit up and start catching up."
Yeah.
Because
But
I'm pretty sure those are on like old fucking Fortress, or not Fortress, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're
what's
all
it
the
called?
old maps. They
It's
well,
the old
Yeah.
whatever.
Even the
Yeah.
training
Forget what
videos, like the those training videos where it says like you play a smoke and you have to protect the hostage in Old Fortress, and then you play
it's not.
Capcan in Clubhouse.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So my personal thing when it comes to game development is if a player that is playing your game has to go to a source outside of your game to learn how to do something inside of your game, like they have to. Like there's no tutorial that explains it, or there's no tooltips, or there's no video or anything. That's bad game design. The thing that comes to mind is Destiny 1. Half the fucking game was on one of their websites. Like, why am I going to a website outside of the game to learn about shit in the game?
Did I
Like
hear
That
Tarkov?
that's just bad game design.
Did I hear
that's every
Tarkov?
game though. That's every game that
No,
Well,
you have
some
to.
do do a
there's
good job at walking you through them,
there
and they're very simple.
so the key is what I'm specifically saying. If you want to get better at the game and you go to like YouTube to like work on your movement or whatever, that's
Yeah.
whatever. But if you need to go outside of the game to in order to learn something about the game, like how to put down a breaching device or, something fucking stupid. And there's not something that's explicitly like takes you through it and how to learn it, that's bad game design. Or,
Yes.
you have a bunch of lore in the game that actually would help explain things and you have to go outside the game. Like I just think that's really lazy game design.
Yeah. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, even League of Legends has a little intro thing that they walk you through on how to actually play the game. Like, I feel like that's kind of like par for the course at this point, unless it's one of these long-standing franchises like Call of Duty or Battlefield, because at that point, it's just running around and shooting people and then just figuring
Yeah,
out what to
you
do.
don't really
Like,
need
it's not hard.
tutorial for the
The
for
more
those
technical a
games.
game gets, the more you should kind of handhold them at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for example, I don't think there's anything in the game that explains to you that if you have a Twitch, you can shoot a Goyo shield.
Nope.
Like granted it's a recent change, but it's like that's
Yeah.
just an example
Yeah.
of things, and I'm sure there's other more egregious examples of it, but
Not
you
even the
you get
range change on Twitch. They don't even tell you that those things can go forever.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
these are the things that like people have to watch videos of content creators of like, again, like Bikini Body. He's like an actual godsend because he's like, "Hey, this stuff does this stuff does that." It's like, "Oh shit, okay." So, it's I should learn 95% of the things I need to know in the game
From the
from the
game.
game itself.
Yeah.
Now, like shit like quick peeking, crouch spamming, drop shotting, all the little like cheesy things that you eventually pick up in the game and you have
Yeah.
to learn it from outside. That's fine because those are God,
Exploited
I'm just
tactics.
kind of it's different things developed within the confines of the game. So it's more or less because the game's essentially a sandbox. So people are coming up with things like year one, quick peeking wasn't really a thing, all that sort of shit. I'm pretty sure drop shotting was a thing because of Call of Duty, but like the tactics
It
used in
was.
year one compared to now, like they're drastically different because people have had a lot of time. They've developed certain ways to play. They found out what really works. They found out how to abuse the game engine. Like that's the key. You in year one, you don't know how to abuse a game engine, and as time goes on, you learn how to do it, and that's
Uh,
also why some games die because people just figure it out.
that sounds really bad. I think finding the nuances of the game itself is better
Well, I
than
mean, yeah,
abusing the game engine.
I guess it, I guess it could be worded differently, but that's
Yeah.
essentially what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
you're
You're
cheesing
just
it. Like,
you're finding the advantages that are left in the game. Like, I know for a stretch there, fucking slamming Q and E really gave you an advantage in the game, and they found a way to
Yeah.
nerf that. But for a while, that was extremely powerful.
Yeah.
oh
Imagine
yeah,
quick peeking in year one of of Siege.
I think your game would have
Like,
crashed if you did that. To be honest with you.
yeah, too many Qs and these inputs coming in the game. Game
Yeah.
crashes. we have to take another year. Operation Health
Granted, there were no
2.0.
cheaters in that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
yeah, there
didn't do
was.
anything. It didn't do anything.
There's tons of cheaters. You don't remember Operation Health?
Well,
No, because
Operation
I
Health
wasn't
didn't
around
do
that
anything.
time.
Literally didn't do
When
anything. It
the
was just a
when the
season for
game
them to throw away
launched,
time.
there was no like real anti-cheat in the game.
There also
Like
was no hit reg.
like for console it's whatever, but like Operation Health, like it was to improve the game, but a big part of it was implementing Battle Eye.
Yeah. And now we're
Mhm.
back to this where we're
You,
still running into cheaters every other match. Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Great improvement.
Yeah, I got killed in a ranked match by
Yeah.
Zofia holding a claymore.
Yeah, and Nick has a story about the upcoming coming phone verification service.
oh
It's
yes,
great.
bro. That. Oh my gosh. Like
Well,
it.
to be fair, you can't get mad at a system that hasn't been implemented in your region yet.
But I mean, if they're rolling it out, it
It's
sounds
been
like
so
they're
many
rolling it out for
years.
everything.
It's been so many years. Ubisoft has been around for years, and the fact that I can't put a US number in their system to verify that I am legit, and they ask me, and they even say on their Twitter, you about the phone verification. You nothing says about the email. I had to talk to support. They said the email should be good enough, but if I don't get my reward, I'm coming after Ubisoft. I want that thermite skin because I saw it in the test server, and I
Wait, do you have
want
to
that.
prep it? Do you have to
You
prep
have to
it
be
beforehand?
verified to get that skin.
Before or during?
I guess anyway, maybe.
Okay.
All I saw in the test server, I saw that skin. I was like, oh, so this skin coming to the live server. I want it. And there's even the indication on my screen on the test server. This account has not been verified, but does not have a phone verification. I'm like, do y'all not know? I've talked to support about this. Like, come on. I literally I went around through different departments. They said my phone is not in their system, but then why can't I put my phone in the system? And then they said you can't. All right, you is not U.S. numbers. Then why do you have the U.S. number in there?
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
Because I'm pretty sure it's a holdover from the old system because there was it was a while ago
I think it
yeah,
where
was like year 3, year 2,
you
probably.
could put your phone in to verify for ranked, and it's like it was this like half-ass system of like verifying your account. Because I remember at one point you needed to verify your account in order to play ranked, but you
yeah.
could use a phone number or you could use an email or whatever. And because I remember using my phone on my main account, and then it just never asked me for it ever again. Whenever like it emailed me, it just emailed to my account. Like it's fucking weird. I specifically remember something to do with the phone, and it was a super half-assed implementation on the game.
Per
That's what
usual.
I think it's gonna be half-assed again. It's gonna be half-assed
Um,
again. Maybe.
I not with this team. I don't think so. It seems because they've been talking about it for a while. They've been hyping it up. It does seem like they're working on it, but like anything done in game development does not happen quickly. Like
Yeah,
nothing
Yeah.
happens quickly,
yeah.
especially with what I'm sure is like super crazy spaghetti code for this fucking engine.
And
Yeah.
Like honestly, like they need to do an Operation Health 2.0, take a year and a
No.
half off, take
No.
all the devs and just develop a new fucking game engine.
Don't do it.
Like the game needs a new engine.
like, oh, okay. I even during the SI, they talked about developing as well. They said they even quoted is like changing tires on a moving car. That's how it is getting stuff to
Yeah,
work on the siege.
that's
And I get that. And I do apologize. I'm just entertaining and stuff like that about the phone. If it's not on there, then why is it stuff like that? But because I've kind of experienced that self myself. Um, but yeah, I think they need to be have a health 2.0 go, and I'm passing the mic to you.
like I understand why a lot of game devs don't want to use the Unreal Engine because with the Unreal Engine, you have to pay 15% of your earnings every quarter to Epic. And that's
Jesus.
a lot of money. Your game makes if your game in over a quarter, which is 3 months, makes $10 million, well, that's $1.5 million you have to give to them. I mean, yes, it's a substantial amount, but there's a reason that the Unreal Engine charges a premium is because it's one of the best engines available, and it's been that way for going on fucking 20 years now. So I understand a lot of game companies want to make their own engine, but I mean, just for the sake of the players, just get Unreal Engine 5. Go do what you need to do in order to have the destruction in it, and then just update the fucking game or make a Siege 2.2 or something. But so many issues with the game can be attributed to just the old ass fucking engine, the garbage ass sound, the weird ass fucking debris that took 4 years to get rid of client side debris, by the way. Fucking just the weird way things happen in the game. Like more than once, I've seen it where somebody gets shot in the chest, yet all of a sudden, because they're looking up at an angle, it registers as a hit shot. Like the hit reg detection is so fucked. It's not as bad
Yeah.
this season. I remember about 3 seasons ago, it was extremely bad. But we've seemingly exchanged hit reg issues for more cheaters. Like there's so many cheaters this season. Like I was openly asking the question, like, did the fucking source code to the engine get leaked or something? Like it's bad,
Just
dude.
on
It's
Reddit.
super
Yeah.
bad.
And I'm gonna go along the lines of the cheers thing. I've been hearing someone said it in our actual like server, like I think it was yesterday. It might have been Wolf, that they might be redoing their rank system to have like everyone start out like bronze. That would be the worst idea that you could
No,
ever do. I told him, I'm like, I'm not playing
no,
for the first week if they do that,
no.
because then that means I'm gonna be playing against champs fucking day one. I'm not doing that.
Well, the general rule of thumb is just don't play rank like the first week.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I know, but that shouldn't have to be a thing.
A lot of games do that though, where everybody starts at whatever MMR and then you play and then you go up or down.
Well, yeah, but if you've already earned a spot, I don't think you should just
you don't
change the
go.
way a rank system works
You
next
don't go
season.
down. I think with rank 2.0. Okay, we're changing the topic with rank 2.0, but I
Well,
think
it's
with rank
yeah.
2.0, you're not going down. You're just going up. I don't think if you're placed in silver, you're going to go down back to bronze. If that is, you already got your medal for silver already. Because now starting everybody with copper, I think that is a more balance because yeah, it's gonna be rough for the first few weeks, but it's gonna work its way out. The people that wants to play are the ones that are already higher up on the list, and it's it's good. I'm kind of excited because I get so stressed out with rank. I hate when I lose elo like
Uh,
this. I'm not understanding like why am I in this area if people are like smurfing or they're
yeah.
not in the same area as me. Like you got a freaking champ, you got undercover champs and plat ones and diamonds over here playing in freaking gold elo. Like why are you here? Like it's
Well, the thing
not.
is,
Go ahead.
sorry. The thing is, it's not like Apex where you can just drop in, you die, and then you go to the next one. These games take 40 to 50 minutes, one. And two, you're trying to make this so that new players can come in your game and have a good experience. Yet you're doing the complete opposite and making it so that everyone, including cheaters, start out at copper. So anybody that comes in that's new are going to run into these cheaters first. Not any of these good players because the cheers are doing well and getting ranked. It doesn't matter how well the cheers do. They're going to start out at the bottom just like everyone else. So everyone from the bottom up is going to feel it, and it's just going to be worse for everyone down below because they're just going to get hit by cheer after cheer after cheer instead of everyone at the top. So it's just going to make it worse, and people are just going to quit the game to start out.
Like I was saying a couple of days ago, take the cost system they use to rate the pros in Pro League and apply it to the MMR system, because as the Ubisoft devs themselves have stated, the only thing that goes into your MMR gaining or losing is if you win or lose a match. That's the only thing that matters. And so as a result, it's super easy to smurf. It's super easy to literally be, a carried player, be in freaking plat 2 with like a point 0.5 KD and just be the most useless freaking teammate ever. Apply the cost system so that, and this is more or less for it would benefit the solo queuers. Like a lot of people like to solo queue. They just like to vibe and just play and whatever. But sometimes, like I'll see it when I four stack, I'll get a solo queuer. If that solo queuer is the top frag in the match, they should be getting at least a little bit of elo, but they shouldn't be losing any. I mean, if they're playing extremely well, they're doing their job, they're getting frags, they're doing everything that they need to do, but as a result of their team, because they're solo queuing, they're losing, they shouldn't be getting punished for that. Because
Agreed.
you can't control the actions of four other people, and I don't care what anyone says. It's like you cannot realistically and reliably 1v5 every single round. It's just not going to happen. But you can play extremely well every single round. So you should be rewarded for playing well every single round. And
Yep.
that's where the cost system comes into play because you look at the stats at the end of a match, and one team may lose, but somebody's cost may still be extremely high because they just played extraordinarily well. And the same thing should be applied to people that solo queue, people that play ranked in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, that would
And
make it a lot easier to find out cheaters because then they'd actually have to do well, and that would mean that they're more
yeah,
likely to get caught.
yeah, because their stats would show out.
Yeah.
And it would aid immensely in finding the Smurf problem because people that play extremely well and they're solo queuing or duo queuing or whatever, and they're Smurfs, well, they're gonna find themselves up where they belong extremely quickly.
Uh, yeah, true. It
A
just
lot.
matters on how much they're willing to give per game at that
Oh,
point.
okay. Okay. The cost system. How would that affect um support players, people that play the support role? This is coming from my mind because again, I in my mind I don't perform as well as much all the time, but
Yeah.
when I do, it's because I'm supporting the team as well. Like a lot of people will, like for instance, if you die without getting a kill, but your impact with your gadget affects the game, that changed the flip of the board. Like a nomad jammer to hit at the right time to where it won you the round.
Yeah, I think we talked about this quite a bit, maybe like a couple of weeks ago when we were just talking in chat. That's a very hard subject to talk about because someone even brought up stuff like yellow pangs, and I said it's really hard to touch on intangibles unless there's damage, unless there's stuff associated that the game can quantify and say, okay, they did this, let's give them credit for it. It's very hard to do. Like, that's gonna be a lot of stuff that goes into it, and I feel like that's almost too much work just to do it. Just if people win a game and it's by a certain margin, just give them a certain amount of points. I think that's the easiest way to do it, personally. Because once you start involving costs, you start involving all these intangible things, it makes it very hard to calculate.
Well, they already have a system for it though. Like they already have the algorithm that they
How's
apply
that?
extremely quickly to all the pros. Like they almost as soon as a match ends, they already have all of their stats, their player rating, the cost already there. I mean, looking it up on Siege GG cost. Cost stands for kill, objective, survive, traded. Similar metric to cash from Counter Strike. Cost measures the percent of rounds where any one of the above conditions are met. Getting a kill, planting, defusing, surviving, having your death traded will all make a round count towards the metric. The metric is an excellent measure of a player's consistency and how frequently they disappear from rounds by dying without contributing to the team. So it's not a perfect system, and there's never going to be a perfect system, but it measures essentially your contribution to the round. If you shoot somebody but don't kill them, well, that counts as an assist. You get the diffuser down. Um, they would need to add some things for points towards destructibility, like if you're getting a bunch of vertical play. It would be extremely hard to add assists for that, but that's actually huge too. Say a buck goes and does his entire job. He bucks out the entire area, he creates a ton of sightlines. He doesn't shoot anybody, he gets killed. But due to the sightlines that he created, the hard support was able to plant, hard support dies. The flex player or one of the entry players is holding the vertical where the plant went down. Somebody tries to defuse, that player kills the diffuser, and as a result, they win. It all hinged on that buck who didn't get a kill, didn't shoot anybody,
Yeah.
getting those sight lines set up.
Well, to the point, they could also be someone throwing where they just go into some random part of the map and just destroy a bunch of stuff just so they don't lose as much elo, or just so they, let's say they don't like people on their team, they just aren't losing as much, but they're still throwing the game. Again, it's very hard to quantify because then if you're playing in a certain area, you have to quantify just that specific area, not everything overall. It's very hard to do because it could be easily manipulated by anyone.
Well, with enough thought put into it, any system for anything can be abused.
Yeah.
Um, an easy way around that is only have, if you're talking about sightlines, only have sightlines that are created within a site count type of thing. It's like, yes, it could still be abused, but again, anything can be abused.
Yeah.
But most people that are playing Siege, for the most part, are trying to win. Yes,
Yeah.
you have your throwers, you got your smurfs, you got your cheaters, you got shitty people everywhere. And sooner or later you're gonna end up with someone who's just straight throwing, who's talking shit, saying gamer words, all the stupid shit.
That's
Classic.
But they, for the most part, are an exception.
I do think though that it's in its current state. I think it's probably the best. Maybe do include KDA maybe, but that's the only thing I'd touch. I would not put cost in there because once you put costs in there, there's a bunch of intangibles that people are going to want included.
I'd
Because
rather
then
Well,
have the cost and the KD.
well,
yeah,
because then it's all impacted on your performance, and support players are actually encouraged to be aggressive and possibly die more, failing at their job.
well,
With
if
KD.
you only do a KD, then you're fucking the support players because most support players
Exactly.
aren't going to be big fraggers, and
So then it's going to have to go off win loss.
they're more than likely going to be negative. Just implement the cost system. I mean,
It
yes, it can
counts
be
for kill
abused, but
death ratios too, but you get other points as well with that, with the cost.
it's like literally almost anything would be better than just you win, you get elo. You lost, even though you got 20 kills, you lose elo. Like,
I mean, I'm fine with that personally because it's just what we're used to. If you win, it shows that you guys actually work together as a team, even though one person did extremely shitty.
That
Because
oh,
it's all about team effort at the end of the day. If one team performs better as a team than the other, you're gonna win
yeah.
99% of the time, unless the other team has some guy that's literally frying everyone, and that only could mean one thing, and that most likely is a cheater or a
Or,
Smurf.
or just yeah, or he just
ha,
has a
well,
good
well,
game.
look at it this way. How many times have you gotten into a game and a round comes down to a 1v1 or a 1v2? Now,
Multiple
say
choice.
you're solo queuing, and then you get one of those guys who's literally like a carried plat has,
Yeah.
and I've seen it more times than I would like to, where someone literally has like a point 0.3 KD. They can't play their character or their operator correctly. They can't get kills. They can't fucking shoot. They are literally a carried plat. Well, guess what? For all intents and purposes, for that entire match, you're playing a 4v5.
Yeah. That then they should implement something like Valorant did, where you can't queue a 4 man. You have to queue a 5 man or a 3 man, which would make sense. Because at that point, you're literally, if you're queuing a 4 stack, you are tossing the dice anyway on if you have a good teammate or a bad teammate. You're still going to lose elo either way, even if you implement this cost system. So
Yeah,
that's really not going to change anything in the grand scheme. It's just how much. So in the end, you could lose like 2 or 3 games because you get one bad player consistently again and again and again, and you won't even notice that you're mad about the cost system because you're losing less. You're still losing elo, and you're going to be on net loss for the day. It's just a matter of how much, and that it should teach you a lesson that, hey, either we Q5 or we
Or
probably
just
should
don't.
be playing ranked. Play it seriously or don't play it at all.
Well, what about people that are solo queuers and they just get queued up with
Then
people that are trash and
they
they're
should get queued with
playing.
other solos.
Well, they don't. More than once, I've played a 4 stack, and I mean, when you play a 4 stack, you get queued with a solo queuer. Like, and what happens if that 4 stack is just trash? Like, you had no control whatsoever over it if you're the solo queuer.
Yeah,
yeah. That
So
is
you just get fucked, and as a
again,
result, you lose elo, and then less people play the game. You want
yeah,
people to play the game, but the game has been hemorrhaging players because of a multitude of issues, and this is one of them.
Well, then again, Siege matchmaking has always been an issue with this game. No matter where you go,
Yeah.
I've been in multiple ranked games in the past week where we've been a 3-man and then we had 2 solos, and then on the other team they have a 5 stack for whatever reason. That doesn't make sense, but
Well,
that's
you
what we're
have
up against. And I think this game should look at matching squad sizes possibly. Just saying, okay, you got 3 and 2 ones, let's put a 3 and 2 ones on the other team, or maybe a 4 and a 1. Try and make it as close as possible to the team so you actually have a chance in winning possibly.
Yeah, and that introduces another thing that they do. I don't know if they do it on PC. I know they do it on console. It's called the 5+5. It goes like this. You have someone that's a certain rank on one team, so they get people that are lower, but according to the algorithm, those two people together equals that one person. It's called the 5+5 system. It does in some games it does work, but in Siege it doesn't
Yeah.
because it's 5 people, somewhat symmetrical fucking warfare with a destructible map. It's not like it's Counter Strike where there's like 12 people, 6 people, 8 people, whatever in the team, and you're playing like fucking 800 rounds.
yeah.
You're playing a maximum of 9, and it's the 5v5. Like that system doesn't work in Siege. It really doesn't.
Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of ways that you could go about fixing it because even as things as queuing with a 4 and a 1, that's that one's basically going to get trump card. Any decision, any input that they want to put in, no matter what, you're going to get dumpstered by the 4 stack who might just be throwing. You don't know. It's
Yeah.
very possible. Because at the end of the day, that's kind of one of the things that Valorant suffered with, and they had to change. And I think Siege should as well, as I brought up like a minute earlier. It's you suffer when you're queuing as a 4 stack, and then you get a 1, and the same thing goes for that 1. Like I might be wrong about this, I might be right, but Valorant, I believe, introduced a solo queue, like queue for itself. If you queue solo, you're going to get placed against solos,
There's
and that would make the most sense.
because I know I think Call of Duty had it, just even just solo queue playlists.
Yeah.
I think that would really change for Siege well. Solo queue playlists, mostly for the ranked, unranked. A lot of people just don't even take unranked seriously enough to play it.
No,
And the same thing with casual. Um, but
images
a
of Hank
solo,
enter my mind.
but wouldn't that like ruin, like mess up the queue time as already, since Siege is at a low in population right now? That would really make queue times even longer than what they are right now.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of things that are wrong with this game that they have to fix.
Yeah,
I think it goes in order of cheers, and then you focus on everything else because cheers make the game unplayable.
yeah. I
But
think
I don't think they should be introducing all these changes beforehand.
yeah, the solo queue players could be kind of near the bottom. The top is the cheaters. The second one is the, I guess, the bugs, or
Yeah.
the bugs, and then the third one can be the ranking system, followed by a solo queue playlist.
I forget
So
which map it was, but the other day Clutch said he fell through the map on a run out again, and I was like, "What? That's still in the game?"
he's
When?
getting year
See,
one
again,
bugs.
it's the engine fucking breaking, dude.
No, but
He's
they got it out of cafe and it shows up on another map, bro. I
they
don't know
get
what it is.
It's
they
it's
get
the it's gonna be certain dead spots in the map in certain conditions, but it's the engine, like literally breaking.
Just like Overwatch 2, can we get a Siege 2?
wait.
Fucking pretty much, yeah.
When
Just
is that game coming
same
out
ops,
anyway?
just Overwatch 2, I believe they're starting to roll out stuff for summer this year, so it might be fall or spring of next year.
I ain't playing. It's Activision right now.
Yeah, I'm not playing it either. It's a cartoon game. If I want to
Mm,
play something like that, I'll play like LOL.
Yeah,
yeah,
like I've been wanting to go back to World of Warcraft because I enjoy MMOs. It's how I just vibe.
You've been
But
trying to bait me into that.
not WoW, Star Wars. But
Ah, no, I think you invited me on the WoW.
a while ago probably when I did
Yeah.
play it, but I don't want to support Activision right now. Not until
True.
Not until like Microsoft starts taking control, because
They
But
cancel
they
Call of
have one.
Duty.
yeah, Microsoft's not a perfect company, but they're better than Activision. They're better than Vivendi, which is one of the parent
I
companies.
was about to say, what the fuck is a Vivendi?
So
Vivendi.
Vivendi was around in near the turn of the century. Like they would put their name on games and stuff like that as publishers, but they were a terrible publisher.
Is it?
They out EA'd before EA became what EA is
Oh
now.
no.
And they were aware of their reputation to the point when they actually bought Blizzard in 2008. They were aware so much of their reputation that they didn't put their name and rebrand Blizzard. They just left Blizzard as it was.
Is it? Is
That's
it?
And now
how.
Blizzard's a shit company.
Yeah. And as soon as Mike Morhaime left, and he was the last vestige of the old crew. That's when everything went to shit. And he actually made a thing where it's like, oh yeah, it's not Activision's seeping in, blah blah blah. It's like, apparently that's exactly what fucking happened, guy.
Yeah.
So
So
it was
Vivendi.
it was bad. Apparently, one of my friends was telling me this story. I don't know if it's true, but apparently somebody showed up for their first day and they're like, "Oh, let's take shots."
I
But
believe it.
it lines
Shots
up with
of.
the whole frat boy culture that was
Yeah.
reported for the company. So
Yeah. So,
Agree.
so you're kind of saying is Activision's basically let the leftovers of Vivendi games because they merged with Activision. Did they not?
I
Or
guess
no?
I don't know all the details of it. I just know that one shitty company acquired another, became bigger, then they acquired another and became even bigger. So it's just one big ass shitty company now.
One big shitstorm, we would say.
I
They
mean,
just need to
like for
flush the
example,
toilet.
I know we're getting off topic here, but
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
like all the
Yeah.
Call of Duty games that like they obviously aren't polished and they don't have quality assurance. I mean, they laid off like the majority of their quality assurance team. There's like 9 guys that fucking
Yeah.
test the Call of Duty patches now, and that's why so many things get through.
Hey
Like
man, I'll say it. After Modern Warfare, Call of Duty has been dog shit.
Which Modern Warfare? Because you're kind of vague with that
2019,
Modern Warfare.
2019, 2019.
Okay.
Got
oh,
clarified. 2019 was
so
great.
did you hear after this year they're actually skipping their yearly release?
About damn time.
Well, yeah, please leave Modern Warfare 2 in there. And
Like,
just
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yo,
way off topic, but I'm just gonna say case in point. They just need to have the Modern Warfare, the Cold War, and the Vanguard. Just have those, and just update it every year instead of just making a new game. Because there's
I
nothing
mean,
new coming out of Call of Duty.
yeah, I mean, like for example, getting back on topic, Siege ain't perfect, but it's been around for 7 fucking years. It's a
Ex-
game that you can regularly come back to.
yeah,
true.
yeah. You telling me I have to buy $60 again just to play another Call of Duty when I can just pay the same Siege I paid years ago and just play it again? Like that. That's come
Yeah,
on.
like I
That's
understand
exactly what I'm telling you.
every game company is a business. They got to make money. So like I'm cool with buying the battle pass. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. I'm cool with buying the battle pass, buying the random elites or fucking whatever skins to help support it. I'm cool with that because again, the game's been out for 7 years. It regularly goes on sale for the price of a fucking meal at McDonald's, so it's not a big deal and they're not making a
Yeah,
ton of money off of that.
yeah. And they're not even looking for those sales; they're looking for those microtransactions. And let's go on the topic with we're almost done here, but
Close.
the year pass. How do y'all think about the year pass?
I haven't looked at it because I don't want to spoil myself.
Yeah, I haven't
30.
looked at it either.
Okay, $30 for just the year pass, 60 for the
Oh,
premium pass. So
you said year
let me.
pass, and I thought you meant battle pass. I was like, no way
That
for
is the battle pass. Like
$30.
you get the battle pass with that.
Yeah, for the
Plus,
year though. I thought of it for this one season. I was like, no fucking way. It's one season, $30. You gave me a
and
heart attack.
and let me see. Yeah, battle
Jeez.
pass. Where is it? Okay, wait. Year pass. My apologies. I'm unprepared on this part right here.
Wow, 10 out
Okay,
of
here. Yeah,
10.
$30 for the year pass. 60. And you get skins. You get an ash skin, which is going to sell the game, sell itself. Um, you get 14 days, 2 weeks of the new operator of the year. You get that's 14-day early access. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You get the ash skin, and then you get the 14-day early access, and you get the battle pass. But the premium battle pass, you do get 20 extra tiers with that, as well as a Valkyrie buy set, which is that black and white lined outfit with a exotic elite weapon skin for the MPX. That's the premium pass.
Yeah,
So
this could be
so
interesting.
it's basically, it's not, you're not getting a discount in the store anymore. So that's off the window. You're
Oh,
just
for
getting
sure.
you're just buying the battle passes early in
Yeah,
advance. So the question is, how much of the battle pass is it by itself? It's like what, 30, fifteen
$30.
bucks? No, by
So
itself.
I
If you
thought
just
the
buy,
battle pass is $10. I might be wrong about that. I believe it is.
okay, so if it's $10, then you save $10 because that's 4 seasons. You save
Nobody quote
10.
me on that.
Oh well,
Um,
we're just going off of there. We're not quoting you on that, but it also ends March 21st. So at the time of this recording, February 23rd, um, you have until March 21st to get that battle pass. Otherwise,
you got
you would not.
less than a
You
month.
Yeah, less than a month. So I mean, if you play Siege or you want to support Siege or something like that, there it is. You don't have to. Um, you don't have to. You can just get it for the ops and stuff like that. Just buy the $30 ones, but with the also with the battle pass, you get that pass ends up for the whole entire year. So you don't get that 30-day time where there's no battle pass at all, and you did not hit your points, hit your
Yeah,
tiers. So that's quality of life right there. But
yeah.
overall, thumbs up to the Rainbow Six team as well.
Yes, sir. Bringing out better skins these times around, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
better
come on.
skins.
Yeah, getting better and better.
I
Maybe
wanted it.
don't bring out a Sophia skin this time around though. Like, maybe
Yeah,
give us a gun that people actually use. Maybe.
yeah. It's an MPX for the exotic.
Let's go! Let's
Yes.
go!
Oh,
I'm a
I'm.
Valkyrie, mate. Let's go! But yeah, no.
Uh.
I'm happier. I can't wait to see what they bring out for the seasonal skins as well. Not the ones in the battle pass, but the ones that you can like buy out of the store for like 50k renown or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Those ones, because they have been doing really well. This past season was a little underwhelming, but for the most part, they've been doing pretty well. They also had the Chinese New Year one, which a lot of people liked as well. I've seen a lot of people buy that one, and a
Yeah.
couple of other like Chinese art style pieces that people wanted to buy. But I can't wait. I love those seasonal skins, dude. And I also love what they're doing with the attachments. I hope they push a little more of that. Maybe, hey, maybe this is just a personal preference. Add some more team colors, instead of red, blue, orange as
Yeah.
well. Maybe a purple. Not biased or anything, just purple. Just purple. I'll take it. Because all of our other teams are represented in here except for me. But hey, that's where we're at.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, because I really thought they was gonna put like different colors in, because they have different optical sights and stuff, but they just have the red, blue, and orange, and that orange is starting to look a little bit little stale because I got tired of
Dude,
looking at
nobody runs
orange.
it.
Yeah, some people still run it, and when I watch a stream, I'm like, ew, orange.
Like even Pro League has moved on to red and blue at this point.
Yeah,
But great, I
and
I think that's kind of just what they had to do if they implement it. They've
hmm
got to start showing off the new stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to get into the last topic I want to get because we're going over about a good 10 minutes over, but I don't care.
Just a little bit. We've been talking this whole time.
Yeah. The have y'all seen some of the leaks?
For what?
For the next season, the
The
Montang
map?
and Kate Elite, that got leaked out.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
not seen either of those. I do know that a lot of people like the Nomad one that was released the other day. That shit is.
I honestly thought
My
that was
wallet's
already
getting
in
opened
there,
up.
but then I saw the leak. I was like, wait, I saw the
Yeah.
leak already, and so. But
Yeah,
I'm
my
about to show
wallet's
it.
getting opened up for that one, bro.
Yeah, let me show you the leak real quick.
Yeah, toss
Update.
this. Toss this.
Here it is. Where is it? I just lost it. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I'm
Don't
unprepared.
worry, we're very professional here.
We're
Definitely not
professional.
just
Here
gamers.
it is.
Definitely not gamers.
Yeah. Hold on.
uh,
Okay. All right. This is back. I probably want to just do leaks at the end of the video, but take a look at that. That's the
it's
Cade Elite, and that's the Monte Elite. Cade looks a whole lot younger than what he's used. He usually looks like.
wait, we got a cyborg out. What the?
That's Monte in like
Oh,
a freaking juggernaut suit, looking like a Power Rangers villain.
what the? We got 007 and like RoboCop over here. What the hell is happening?
Um.
I mean, I'll
Um.
take it, but like, jeez.
Yeah, and that was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
And
no,
I do
they're
believe.
really starting to hit it off on the elite skins. I
Yeah,
will
and I
say
think
that much.
Soviet posted something about Castle Elite for season 2. So it's taken them
Mixtapes,
70
let's
years to
go.
get all day one ops elite skins, which should have been happened way before when Callie got Hurley and nobody really questioned it, and I was the one questioning it. But yeah, we've had a nice quiet of talking here today. Kal and
Yeah,
Dan. Kal is more the technical, so he had a whole lot to say, and I really appreciated
it's
that
all
as
that
well.
boomer knowledge, bro.
Yeah, but we'll
All
do
right, there's Zoomer.
yeah,
I
but
just
we
work
did.
here, man. Don't at me.
Yeah, we didn't have a guest today. Shirts is kind of busy right now, but next time we do this podcast, we'll see what we can do. Wolf should be coming back from vacation shortly, so that might happen. So be prepared to get subtitles ready because his accent is hella thick, which I am lying. I am hella lying. I am lying. Wolf's accent is very understandable after I've known him for
Yeah,
about
it's
a good almost 2 years.
yeah. I'd
Dang.
say it's as far as like the accents go, he is very understandable in comparison to some people, like my
I
professors.
I've French accents is very clear to me, but other accents,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
As
beside
well.
the point. Um,
Anyways,
There's nothing wrong with nobody's accent. It's just I'm had a hard of hearing. Wearing headsets in my life busts my ear shuts. But anyways, my name is your host Nick, Dan, and Cal. We are
yo,
out here. So also check out the servers. We got 10 minutes being posted up weekly as well. Check out our socials. Check out our discord.gg/Dominus. Again, thank you for listening in. I was gonna say watch, but we'll see y'all
just
guys
a little
next
bit.
time. Go ahead.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.